What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. All right, I'm on the same walking path that I was on just 2 days ago, and it is raining. I don't know if you can see that, but it actually feels good, believe it or not, because it's so hot out here. It's probably still 85 degrees right now, and so the water just feels good. But I wanted to talk. I was actually watching Larry Elder. Larry Elder's running for president, and he was being interviewed a couple of days ago. And I want to talk about the biggest threat to Social Security. And so that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this, the biggest threat to Social Security. So I've talked about this before, and actually just I think the last video that I posted, I talked about this very same thing. You have politicians out there running for president, politicians in general, and what do they say? They say the same thing. I'm going to play this clip really quick and then I'll come back.
Only way to restrain spending is with an amendment to the Constitution to fix spending to a certain percentage of the GDP, with exception for war and for natural disaster. Otherwise, we're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Let me use the word unsustainable. That's the word Barack Obama used to describe the so-called entitlements. Unsustainable was a word that Bill Clinton used to describe them. But nothing happens, because if you run claiming you're going to reform Social Security or Medicare, the other side is going to accuse you of not caring about the sick, the poor, the elderly, and you are going to lose elections. That's why government gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So we need a law to restrain spending. Otherwise, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And for young people like you, these programs are not going to be there.
So you see Larry Elder saying there, Social Security might not be around for people, or won't be around for people, younger people. This is the biggest threat to Social Security. And the reason why is because, first off, what he is saying is not true. And I continue to say this in the hopes that maybe some people will watch this video and realize, okay, some of these politicians are not being completely honest. They're not being honest at all when it comes to Social Security. But the trust fund is slowly depleting. However, Social Security is paid off by the payroll tax. So the payroll tax is one, and then you have the trust fund. The trust fund is just money that's been carried over because we had an excess, we had a surplus, and we had the surplus for a while. So that money was built up, it was put in the trust fund, it was invested in bonds, and now they have to pull from that. Okay, we're not pulling in enough money from just the payroll tax. So what that means, in 10 years, that time that you're hearing everybody talk about, in 10 years the trust funds will be depleted. However, as long as we have people working, we're going to have money coming into Social Security because of the payroll tax. And so what they need to do right now is they need to fix it by probably raising taxes. That's the only real option at this point. Raising the full retirement age is not going to be enough. They're going to have to, at some point, raise taxes. However, Larry Elder is still saying, you know what, Social Security won't be around for people who are younger. So if you were a person who's younger, let's say you're 30, 35, you're working right now, you're paying 6.2% into the payroll tax, and you're thinking, why am I paying this 6.2%? And if your employer's also paying 6.2%, that's the way that it works, so you pay 6.2%, your employer pays 6.2%, you guys are both going to be saying, why am I paying the 6.2% if Social Security is not going to be around for me when I need it? But like I said, that's not true. Social Security will still be around. However, there will be a cut of about 23% if politicians do nothing. And that's only if they do nothing. Now, if they decide to raise taxes, like I said, that's something that they're going to have to do. If they decide to raise taxes, Social Security will be around 100%. You're going to get your full amount. And if they do it the right way, they will expand Social Security So they will provide some type of an increase for people who are currently receiving Social Security, as well as those people who will be receiving Social Security in the future. And so anytime I hear these politicians say this, I'm going to come up and do a video because I want you guys to know all the facts. And those are the facts. Politicians, they like to not tell you the full truth. And in this situation, he's not telling you the full truth. And so I don't want people to be out there, especially if you're younger, thinking, why am I wasting my money paying into this payroll tax? I don't want to do it anymore. We should privatize Social Security. And so when you hear politicians talking about privatizing Social Security, what do? You go to the ballot booth and you vote for those people. And then guess what? You find out, oh, it would have still been around, but they needed to make some changes. And so I just wanted to put this video out just to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, I want your input, so let me know what you guys think down below. But this is a talking point that you are hearing politicians say more and more often now. It's not going to be there. Social Security is going to be gone. It's going to be bankrupt. And they're just not being honest. That is a criteria. When I'm looking for someone to vote for, I want them to give me the facts when it comes to Social Security. And why is this important? It's important because it will impact when you retire. And you might say to yourself, well, you know what? I have good retirement. I'm not going to need this. But you're probably going to want to pull in that Social Security because it's extra money to help with your expenses. And so that's all I have for this video. I want to show you this. The drainage out here is not very good. This is actually a good part of this area. I've been walking around and I've had to walk around in different areas just because it's so bad out here. It's so flooded, and it's only been raining for maybe about 3 hours. So they don't have, we're kind of on I guess this is a peninsula, so they don't have good drainage for whatever reason. So I'm noticing that, but still feels great out here. Look at coconuts on the trees right here in front of us. But all right, I'm gonna keep on walking, and I'll get back to you guys later. But like I said, anytime I hear politicians, especially if they're running for office, anytime I hear them say stuff like this, I want to put this out because maybe, hopefully, I can get people to understand that these politicians are not being honest with you. And we all know politicians like to embellish, things like that. But this is a really serious matter for millions and millions of people who are currently receiving Social Security right now. You got 70 million people that are currently receiving it, as well as people who will be receiving Social Security in the very, very near future. Just dropped all my stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that little bell notification. If you have questions, put them down below, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.